Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Thief of Cookies. My name is Erin, and today I'm doing the 25 Expressions Challenge. It is a challenge that started out on DeviantArt a few years ago, I'm pretty sure, if not several years ago. But it's one you just pick a character and you draw their faces making 25 different expressions that have been written down here in this chart. So that's what I did. I chose My Little Pony, a character that I made a few years back. Her name is Rain Chaser. I really like drawing expressions with animals because being able to get their ears into the expressions and everything really makes things fun for me, so I had a lot of fun doing this. Even though it did take a little while to kind of get into things. These first couple of motions are kind of stiff, and I kind of had to work at it a little bit, get used to drawing the character again because I haven't really drawn her in a while. There's some things that I tried to keep in mind throughout this whole thing are trying to, first off, I think my main goal was to not rely on like really generic symbols and signs and like predictable kind of expressions, if that makes sense. Like if you draw that little anime vein shape for like being angry, I really didn't want to rely on that kind of a thing. I really wanted it to be just a facial expression experience, so that like you take it out and you put her like how I've drawn her in any context, and you can tell like no matter where you're from or where she is, you can tell what I intended her to be emoting. So that's kind of something that I tried to keep in mind. There's a lot of me trying to figure out like what are some things that I do personally, little quirks that I have whenever I feel these emotions, expressions that I personally make, and trying to give it a little bit of individuality like that. Some of them are really difficult because they're expressions that I don't think this character would really make. Like this character is kind of a grump. She's not very cheerful ever, and so to draw her happy is really kind of out of place for her, and it's hard for me to imagine how she would be happy, and I consider just kind of leaving those ones blank and just being like, well, she wouldn't really feel that emotion, but I think that's kind of cheating, and so it was a good exercise for me to be able to bring myself to that point and think about what would this character be like, what would make this character feel those emotions was another thing, just kind of trying to imagine her in different scenarios and everything. So that's something that I just tried to keep in mind, is after the first few, like happy and sad, I thought were pretty generic expressions that I put down, and so for the rest of them, as I continued on, I tried to really imagine like what makes this character's angry different from somebody else's angry, and what situation even would she be angry. I gotta go back and revisit Triumph because it was really scary. And so like what situations would make her feel these things, and so trying to have her responding to an outside stimulus rather than just kind of trying to make up on my own how she would display fear, rather than what maybe she's like kind of wandering around outside late at night and she hears a noise behind her. It's kind of the scenario that I had in mind, because there's different kinds of fear as well. I mean, like there's the fear of like I'm about to die right now, or there's just like being really creeped out. So yeah, some of them were definitely more successful than others. Like I thought Bereft was pretty successful, especially for a more serious emotion. That was another thing. I think I have a lot more trouble trying to draw a character more seriously and having them feel like deep emotions. It's a lot easier for me to just kind of do like a really cartoony, like the WTF face, just doing like a burp mouth and just having her be goofy and silly. So yeah, flirty is another one that I had trouble with. It wasn't as successful as the Bereft expression, I don't think. I don't know, there's a lot of my my personal difficulties in emoting that I ran into in this as well. Like, I don't really know how to flirt, and so I kind of guessed. So yeah, there's some moments like that throughout this piece. Yeah, this silly one right here is one where I definitely could have stretched it a little bit more. Like, I kind of had her just be like a base, and then I just kind of stretched out her skin. But I think I could have stretched out her whole face, kind of moved the eyes to be kind of more influenced by her goofy smile and stuff, and maybe tilted things and a little bit more squashed things. Yeah, I wasn't super happy with that one, but that's okay. The blank one, there's no comment there. And, I really liked the incredulous one. That's kind of an expression that I find myself making if I'm feeling that. So, yeah, I think there's probably a lot of self-insertion here. But yeah, another thing that I kind of ran into while I was doing these, like as I'm doing this confident one, the posture is pretty much exactly the same as the serious and then the triumph one. And the expression itself is really similar to that triumph one as well. And then like the fierce one is another one that I could have stretched further. But yeah, I kind of found myself relying on poses that I had drawn before already and like were confident in, and so that's something that I wasn't super successful with this, but I tried to stretch myself a little bit more and draw angles and positions that I am not completely used to. So, and then this drunk one was another one that was difficult because I don't drink, and so I don't really know what it's like to be drunk. All I know about that is what TV has taught me, and so I guessed. Hopefully, I mean, I thought it was kind of funny anyway, so hopefully it's alright. Rage is one that I actually pushed too far at the beginning as I started out drawing it, and had to kind of pull back a little bit, which doesn't happen very often, so I was pretty excited about that. Because that's definitely something that I struggle with. I struggle with stiffness a lot, so I think it's good for me if I can stretch things a little bit more and really push myself and kind of try to be a little bit more extreme with my drawings and my poses and my gestures and everything. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably about it. I really liked the disgusted expression. It was really fun to pull her nose back and kind of lift up her lips a little bit and crinkle her nose and pull in that chin and have her like have a little double chin. She's recoiling from something. I was pretty proud of that one. And then ill and nauseous. I was gonna have her, you know, kind of puffing her cheeks a little bit, like she's heaving. But that, I thought, fell into the category of, again, like, relying on symbols and, like, an act rather than a general feeling that I'm trying to communicate. And so I went for a much more generic expression with that. But anyway, I did have a ton of fun doing these. I really like drawing that character, and I really should do something with it. I mean, I don't know, I like drawing character moments like that. I think that might be something that I'm gonna, well, maybe. I don't want to make any promises, but I think I'd like to do a little bit more with character expressions and stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. Thanks for stopping by my channel, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye!